Welcome everyone to our first webinar in Supporting for Success series. I am Kate Losick and I am the Sales Development Coordinator for Bywater Solutions. And I am really happy to have the opportunity to share this new integration with the community. I think it's such a fantastic improvement to allow us to add Hoopla Flex record via API integration in Aspen Discovery and in LIDA to enable the patron functionality to borrow and place unavailable items on hold just directly through Aspen's interface. I think it's a fantastic addition. And with me today, I have Caitlin Baumgartner and Bridget Page from Midwest Tape. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, the developer responsible for this development, our own Yanjun Lee. Thanks for being with us here as well. So before we dive into the admin side and the user experience, which I think is probably what you folks are most interested in, let's talk a little bit more about the reasons behind this project. I think this was such a fantastic meeting point for Bywater and Midwest Tape, and it really showcases how our goals align. Wouldn't you agree, Bridget? Isn't that what you had in mind?
Yeah, definitely. At Midwest Tape, our mission is supporting public libraries by ensuring equitable access to high quality content. And we firmly believe that strong libraries are the foundation of healthy communities. So when equipped with the right tools, libraries are empowered to meet the evolving needs of their patrons. I know Aspen Discovery and Hoopla Digital have for a long time, we've been working together. We've had a long-standing partnership. And Aspen had seamlessly incorporated the Hoopla instant pay-per-use titles into the platform. However, the Hoopla Flex, or one copy, one user titles, incorporating those into the platform had been a more complex and manual process. So many of our library partners shared that having an automated solution for bringing Flex titles into Aspen would significantly enhance their patron experience by enabling those patrons to check out or place holds on Flex titles just as easily as they do with their instant titles.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. I think this is what certainly I appreciate about the versatility of Aspen and this development is just how well it allows us all to respond to what our libraries need, and it's very library driven. So let me start sharing my screen so we can talk a little bit more about this Hoopla Flex integration and how it will help us. So with the Hoopla Flex integration, so the really big advantage is you will no longer need to sideload Hoopla Flex records, which is fantastic. That being said, I absolutely appreciate the versatility of sideloads so that you can add pretty much anything into Aspen as long as you have the MARC records. But there is some manual work required there, and having all Hoopla Flex titles just load, update, record checkouts, and check-ins via API definitely makes it more convenient both for Aspen administrators and patrons. So we absolutely appreciate how it really streamlines workflows for all libraries. I think also this integration will definitely allow us to just meet our patrons' expectations better as well. Both, I'm talking here about our library partners and your patrons as well. Bridget, can you tell us a little bit more about what patrons and libraries are looking for when it comes to e-content and this integration?
Yeah, it's really adding in Flex, as the name implies, it's really about flexibility, right? We know that as patrons have wanted to see more e-content in their library, it can lead to increased library spending. So it's really important that libraries have varied and flexible licensing options in order to make the most cost-effective choices based on their community needs. Hoopla Flex records are going to help those patrons discover the new titles that they want, while also allowing the library to optimize library spend by increasing the license utilization.
I think that's really awesome. Just again, making Aspen that one-stop shop to just have everything together and help libraries with their budgeting needs as well. And of course, it really highlights the value of collaborative nature of open source, but of all partnerships with Midwest TAFE. Of course, it's really fantastic to see how quickly something can become a reality, and how it always starts with what libraries want and need, and that how we can all work together and just make that happen. And of course, we love working with our libraries and how open they are to help us with testing, and like Hernando County Public Library and Emmonsville Vanderburgh Public Libraries, they were crucial in allowing us to test on their servers to help us make sure that this is what you folks want. So thank you all for your engagement, your involvement in this project. All right, so now let's jump to the actual setup and then the user experience as well of this Hoopla Flex integration. So I really hope that what you will notice today is just how easy the setup is thanks to Yeonjun's design. So let me just jump over to Aspen Discovery. This is one of our model sites. So just like with other Hoopla products, there will be a specific module in your Aspen administration. So just like with the others, you just search for Hoopla, and there will be no separate section for Hoopla Flex here. So we can just go directly to settings and add them. And what I really love about the ease of adding Hoopla Flex, especially when you already have Hoopla instant integrated, is it will literally take you 2 clicks and 2 checkboxes to make Hoopla Flex happen in your Aspen. So right here in our settings, you will see 2 sections, Hoopla Instant and Hoopla Flex. And of course, today we're focusing on Hoopla Flex. And really all you need to do is click this checkbox. And of course, as always in Aspen, you will have those helpful tooltips that advise you what action to take to enable Hoopla Flex. And in this section, you will also be able to run a full update for Flex as well. So that will most likely happen upon your initial setup, just to make sure that everything is synced. Normally, all titles are pulled for Hoopla Flex via API at 1 a.m. local time. And of course, every 5 minutes, the availability of Flex styles is updated in Aspen. So all those check-ins and checkouts just be recorded in nearly real time, which is fantastic. Also, in the 2505 release, Yeonjun added this additional setting for Hoopla Flex batch size. And what it does, it allows us to reduce the number of API calls. So there will be more done in the batch of records will be updated in 1 API calls, therefore reducing their amount. So that's another enhancement that that has been recently added to this integration. What else we see in this administrative panel for Hoopla Flex? It's of course probably familiar to folks who are familiar with Aspen. The last update of changed Flex records and the last update of all Flex records. And as I mentioned, really 2 checkboxes that you need to focus on here. The first one is to make sure that Hoopla Flex is enabled. And in scopes, that your scope includes Hoopla Flex as well. That's it. That is really as simple as that. I know with Hoopla Instant, there are additional values that we can specify, cost, you can edit that scope more, but really here, all you need to worry about is having that enabled, include Flex, and make sure you specify which libraries are also using this integration. That's really it when it comes to the administrative setup. So again, really simple, makes it really, really saves you time compared especially to sideloads. What we also added in this integration is an additional dashboard, which again will be found in your Aspen administration in the Hoopla module under dashboards. So right here in the holds section, you can see how many holds were placed on Hoopla Flex titles, as well and this will get updated. Again, this is our model side, so those hold numbers are a little low, but for you, as soon as you start using this integration, they will likely get much, much higher. Additionally, of course, in the indexing log, Hoopla Flex titles will be also noted, and you will be able to see information that Hoopla Flex titles were also processed for availability. So again, very smoothless, very smooth experience for admins for sure, which I hope you folks will appreciate. So now, since I am still logged in as an administrator user, let me show you also a couple of tricks how you can tell that something is a Hoopla Flex title. So what's really nice, and I already have a search here pre-filled. So what's really nice about this integration from patrons' perspective is they do not have to specify whether they're looking for Hoopla Flex or Hoopla Instant titles. We just want to make sure that they find that content. Most likely, they also are not too focused about our licensing woes. So we just want to make sure that the titles are visible and available in Aspen easily. So when you are logged in as an Aspen admin, you can, of course, click on any of the search results, scroll down to Stab View, and in Stab View, under Hoopla Extract Information, you will see in metadata the purchase model that is Flex. That's just for you as an admin to know what kind of subscription license model you're using. Another option is, if I were not logged in as an Aspen administrator, although it does not hurt at all, I can also use right-click, select Inspect, and on available titles, I will also see that model highlighted right here. So these are two quick tricks for Aspen administrators, whether logged in or logged out, to see if this title is a Flex title. All right, now let me move on to the user experience section of Hoopla Flex. And I could, of course, do it masquerading as a patron, but let me sign out and sign in as my test user. And just like with regular search, really no difference here at all. Let me search for hunger, games, and philosophy. Thank you, Aspen, of course, helping me with the suggestion pulling from our metadata. And to check out the title, as a logged in user, you just check out, and that's it. The Hunger Games and Philosophy was checked out successfully. I can go directly to my account. This is where it will show in my checkouts as well, or I can move to the Hoopla section. And just to show you how easy it is to return it as well, and how quickly it updates, that's it. The title was successfully returned. Once I close this window, let me return this one too, just for good measure. So it's really nearly instantaneous. Clears it out from my user account from my checkouts. Now with Hoopla Flex, you also have the option to place holds as well. So let me perform a search for a title that I do know is currently checked out. So again, in our search results, I identify this is Hoopla title, seed money, an audiobook, and I'll look to place a hold. Once I place a hold, of course, the pop-up model will appear, and it will tell me how many people are waiting for this title and ask me if I would like to place a hold. I of course, can also prompt Aspen not to ask me again, which later can be changed under account settings. So again, I can just place a hold here. It will let me know if my hold was placed successfully. What is my number in the queue? I am first one here. And of course, from here, I can go directly to my holds as well in my account. So users familiar with Aspen will notice that it resembles the user account. So of course, it will let me know the source, my position. It will also allow me to cancel that from here as well. And again, it will update really, really quickly in my user account. And so with checkouts and holds, you could see how easily it is done, that patrons likely will not see any difference between before Hoopla Flex API integration and what it is right now. And this is what that was the goal of this integration as well. So this is a really simple setup. That being said, of course, in our help center, we have included information how to enable Hoopla Flex API integration. In case you have any issues with that, you can, of course, reach out to us as well. But I think this is it. I love the simplicity. I love how nicely it integrates with Aspen. I love how easily you can set it up as an admin. And of course, the user experience is definitely a plus as well. So please let us know if you have any questions about this integration or.
Well, I just want to say, Kate, this was fabulous. And it really truly is like easy to set up and then view. I also want to just give a shout out to Hernando, who was helping us test during the initial phases too. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much all for joining us. And if you have any questions and if you encounter any issues setting up your Hoopla Flex connection, please let us know.